Well, Octember came early. Here we are in the last week of August, and Octember's here. Everything in one shot turned to shit. We'll start with the Buick. Obviously, we know that that's still not running right, because I haven't updated you on any of that. It's still misfiring, and it's really to the point where I can't drive it anymore, because if I do, it starts running like crap, and I'm afraid I'll not be able to make it home. So it's gotten to the point where you don't drive it any farther than you can walk. So I just don't even drive it anymore, because there's certainly a problem. At this point, my dad said he was going to come over and we were going to maybe check the timing and other stuff, but I don't see any reason why it would just go out of nowhere. I don't know, but pretty much it's probably got to be brought in, and I'm hoping the same place that did the brakes on this as well as the heater core will be able to fix whatever the problem is with it. So for that, at least there is a little bit of good, which is that I do have free towing on this up to 15 miles, and the shop is 13 miles, so that shouldn't be a problem. And I already called to verify with them, and they said, yeah, that should be fine. So I got to bring it in and get it fixed, because I don't know anything more, and that's really it. I've done everything I can do. So anyway, that was that. One other thing, while just dicking around with the car, the horn on it has always been kind of hit or miss, and there's a bunch of Sal's wiring on here. There's a relay here. I have no idea what it does. There's all sorts of other fakakta wiring, as I'm sure I've shown many times, like what the fuck is that? The turn signal, how I had to do that. Here's a relay. What the fuck is that for? You know, nothing's marked, nothing. We don't know what the fuck he did. So, and then this wire here, which I think is a ground wire that may have used to attach here, but I'm not even certain, because that goes to ground there, and it looks like a connector used to be on there and broke off. So maybe that used to go there. I have no idea. But out of all this mess, here's a relay here, which, like I said, I don't know what that's for. But there's one there, right where you see that electrical tape. There's another tube relay like that, and every time you hit the horn button on the steering wheel, that relay clicks, but the horns won't fire, or if they do, it's spotty at best. So to diagnose that, I had the wife hold the horn button down. The relay clicked, but no sound from the horn, and I smacked it with a screwdriver and it would sound. So it's definitely a bad relay, and I have a million of those, but I'm not going to be concerned about replacing that at the very moment, because the car's not fucking running. So why put a relay in if, if it's not going to get fixed? Allegedly, these two holes right over here are where the original factory horn relay would mount. And these are the horns, one here and one down there. I don't know if they're connected or even work. Really don't know. But anyway, it's there. And this Italian said, oh, you ought to get the factory relay and put it back. It's functional, or it's going to be functional, so whatever. I don't need to spend $20 on a relay that I can do with what I have, especially with how that's wired already with the terminals on it. I just take them off and put them on the same way on the new one, and if not, it's very easy to figure out. So that's Octember number one. The Buick is completely dicked, and it's going to cost too much money to fix. Well, we don't know that yet, but we'll find out. Weed whacker took a shit and hurt me at the same time. Yeah, we mowed the other day, and I had weed whacked the front, and that went well. And then, we made our way to the backyard, and she took the mower, and I took the weed whacker. I went to start it, and it didn't want to start. pulled the rope like 6 times. It just didn't want to start for whatever reason. It is a 2-stroke, but anyway, I pulled the rope, and then it backfired. I didn't see it, but I sure heard it. It ricocheted off the fence and blew out the hearing in my right ear. So I couldn't hear anything out of my right ear for a while. So that definitely caused some damage. That was nice. And then 2 more pulls and the fucking recoil just broke on it. Okay, so we do a stop down, and you know, we stop the lawnmower, we stop everything else. I break out the tools, and there's not enough light, and I'm too lazy to really go and turn the light on. But if you can see on the back, see the hole there? And on that side, and there, there are Torx screws in there, T15s. They're recessed. So I break out the tools I had in here. Of course, it wouldn't fit because they're recessed. No problem. I have a set of really nice quality long Torx drivers. I had a T15, and I put it in there, and I got, you saw 4 there, there's actually 3 other bolts. I got 6 of the 7 out. The 7th one, of course, stripped. And then I remembered, sometime when I bought this thing, not terribly long after, the recoil mechanism on it broke in exactly the same fashion. I guess that should have told me something. But anyway, that's dick now. And let's see. Oh, too much shit in here. See if I can come over here. And this is broken. You can see it's all wibbly wobbly. It broke out from there. And that's great. But the biggest problem with this weed whacker, I bought this one, I had my choice of this, which I think is a 33cc, as opposed to the other ones that they sold that were 25cc. And I said, well, with the garden of weeding that grows around here, I might as well get a little bit larger engine. So apparently that has this fakakta mess of a head on it. It uses these red Twizzlers. And this is a pain in the dick. They're pre-cut lengths, okay? And then when you put them in, a lot of it goes through the head, so when the string actually wears down, you can't just like bump it on the ground like you do with a normal weed whacker. Oh, no, no. You gotta stop the engine, take out the string, and replace it, and half the length of this entire damn thing, you end up just throwing away. So you get 15 pieces. The package is like $2.99. I go through less than a package a year, so it's not a big deal, but it's just a fucking pain in the ass. I would really prefer if it fucking had the normal style that you just bump on the damn ground and more string comes out. It's really a fucking pain in the ass. On top of that, I can't handle the fucking weed whacker much anymore because of my fucking back. It just causes such pain to use it because of the bending over that's needed and that. So anyway, that's currently dicked, and I may have a lead on 2 or maybe even 3 free weed whackers. So I'm just going to junk this fucking thing. I would love, see, what I wanted to do was open the thing up and see if I could fix the recoil, and if not, then I said, well, maybe I could just, you know, put a socket on it, spin it over with a drill, and get it running that way. I mean, it's a little 2-stroke. You know, what's it going to take to crank it, really? So I figured maybe that would do the trick, but I couldn't get the damn bolt out because it fucking stripped on me. So when I brought this in, it's a Craftsman, so when I brought it into Sears, apparently they torqued that down too hard. And I guess just age or whatever, it just fucking stripped out. So now the weed whacker's dicked. I don't want it anymore, and I'm going to see if my dad wants it or wants to see if he wants to fix it or something. And if not, and if the part is like more than 10 bucks, you know, for the recoil, you know, I'll use one of those other ones I may be able to get if I can get them. Otherwise, I guess I'll fix this one. But if I don't need to fix this one, maybe we'll put some gas in there without some 2-stroke oil and see how long she runs. No, YouTube wouldn't like that anymore. That's too bad. Would have made for a nice video. Thanks, Susan. And just so you know, the air conditioner is working perfectly fine. I just have it off so you can hear me. I turned it off just before I started making this video, and I'm going to turn it on right now. So I'll use my technical starting device. The little pitter-patter you heard is the motor that drives the vanes back and forth. And I see my tape has come off, but it's alright. It's still holding and not rattling, so that's fine. Well, maybe it was a good thing that I wasn't in the Buick the other day. A couple days ago, I had a chiropractor appointment, and on the way home, they were doing some road construction. They had ground up part of the road, and they didn't have a bump sign or anything like that. I had seen it, and there was no one behind me going there, and I come home the same way. So when I came home, I made sure to go slow there, and I got stuck at a traffic light, which is fine. And then I go, and you make it across the intersection, and it's like 2 car lengths ahead where you jump back up onto normal road. So I'm moving slowly and braking, and a Mercedes decides that he's in too much of a fucking rush and fucking goes and cuts right the fuck around me and almost caused a fucking accident. I mean, it was really damn close. And I said, oh shit, that'll make a great fucking dash cam video. Well, yeah, it's Octember in August, so yep, dash cam's dicked. So I didn't even fucking record it. Thank God nothing happened, and thank God, thank fuck, I wasn't in the damn Buick, because if he fucking hit that, holy shit, I would have probably murdered him on the scene. I would have fucking killed him right there. But yeah, the dash cam is dicked. I don't know what the fuck happened. I went to the chiropractor, it recorded all the way there, and then when I got out of the car to go in, it kept running even though I shut the car off. And it's supposed to shut off in like, 10, 20 seconds, something like that. And it just sat there and kept recording and recording and recording and killed the battery in it. Well, it's a rechargeable battery, that's not a problem, but with the amount I drive, sometimes it doesn't get a full charge. So occasionally I've had to take it down and bring it in the house and plug it in USB and let it fully charge. And I went and I did that. And I checked the card and found that it fucked up at the chiropractor's office for whatever reason, and it just won't record anymore. It might, so you get a red light, I don't know if you can see it. The screen doesn't even light up. I've taken the battery out, I've reset it, I've done everything I can, and then it just went out. So I don't know what the fuck else. I've taken the SD card out, I formatted the SD card. There's no other little reset hole or button or anything to press on this. It looks like it's just fucking dicked. I don't know. I'm going to let it sit for a few days and we'll see what happens. Maybe it'll come back to life. Maybe it won't. So that's Octember, the third thing. Now we'll go to the next one. Just because I'm out here, I added these chrome caps to the license plate. I did it in the front and the back. I actually bought a set of 4 of them, and I needed that 2 for in the house actually, and the other 2 I was like, well, I don't want to just leave it around, so I'll put it on the car. So I put it on the front. That was all fine and good, and I said, you know what, I ought to just put it on the back. It'll make me feel better if nothing else. So they're on there. There we go. You know, that's fine. I go to put the first one on, it's got this like black plastic washer thing. So I put that on, I tighten the screw down, and it just shears the fuck off. So 4 came in a pack, I could only use 3. Octember number 4. Here's my tablet. That's dicked. That happened this month. I'll go and try to turn it on, see if it will. And there we go. We'll leave that in the background. There's a lot of glare from the windows. But it's going to sit there and not boot. The last video that I made, including this in it, was of that Nulixi keyboard, Bluetooth keyboard. That didn't fuck it up. It's just a Bluetooth device. But what did happen was the tablet was really acting wonky. All kinds of shit that should never crash started crashing in rapid succession. Like even Google Play services was crashing. But I was able to just get it working enough for the video. so I could demonstrate it, and that was that. So that all came up, and then I went to reboot it, and it wouldn't reboot. So the next thing he's going to say is, well, hold down the volume key and power it on, and you'll get into a menu. Yeah, I did that. I went to full system recovery, and it sat there for a half hour and never recovered. It never did anything, and now it's just totally bricked. So I can't do anything. So now that was another, I found one for about 126 bucks that I got. It's a little bit bigger. Whatever. I would have preferred if my really old tablet that I had a video of some time ago had crapped out instead, because that way, you know, this could be its replacement, and then I would get a new tablet that I would use regularly. Anyway, that's the deal. It's just dicked. It may do something further, it may not. So that is number 5. And then we'll move on to number 6. The phone decided to also take a shit out of nowhere. This was more of a minor problem, a minor inconvenience. It comes on, it works, everything's there. But the problem with it was that I was going to the chiropractor, and I had noticed that I had the music on it going, and every song it was playing, so the way I have my MP3s are artist dash name of the song, and they're alphabetical, so it's on shuffle. Fine. Okay, now the tablet decided to give a blank screen, so we'll see if that does anything further. I doubt it. So anyway, it's playing the music, and I keep hearing a lot of Billy Joel songs and a lot of Beatles songs, like one after the next, one after the next, one after the next. It was on random, absolutely. I had double-checked that. I rebooted the phone to make sure, and it still fucking did it on the way home. Well, I came home, I took the card out of it where I had the music stored, and put that on the computer, and the computer only showed that the artists went from A through E instead of A through Z. Just decided to shit itself. That's not the first time that's actually happened. There, the tablet just rebooted, so it's bricked. If anybody knows anything, by the way, that's a Dell Venue 7. And yes, I've tried all the tricks of holding the volume button like I explained, and no, it's done. So if anybody wants to, such as a certain Michael McEachern, maybe jailbreak this or fuck with it, maybe we could arrange for that and see if anything can be done to possibly revive it. I'm thinking perhaps the internal memory on it got corrupt, and that's why everything started crashing. But anyway, like I said, the songs went only A through E instead of A through Z, and that wasn't the first time that it had fucked up. See, occasionally while it plays music, it'll just like stutter in the song for whatever reason, and I wouldn't expect that on a phone. Well, it does it for whatever fucking reason, I don't know. I don't know if the phone is just taking a shit or whatever, and I don't really care because it doesn't have service on it, so it's just Wi-Fi. But I like it for the music and that, and the first time it happened, it actually corrupted the card, and it had all kinds of garbage characters in the names of the song files on there, and I tried deleting them, and the ones with the funny characters Windows wouldn't have any part of. So I said, all right, well, the card is obviously corrupt somehow, let me format it. I formatted it, and it said, can't complete the format, so I tried all sorts of low-level formatting and that, and I don't know, either the card took a shit or the phone fucked it up, but I'm thinking more the phone fucked it up, because, again, why would songs F through Z just vanish off of it? This time I was able to successfully reformat the card and get everything going again, put all the music back on there, so that was just, you know, really a big nuisance rather than anything else. But anyway, it is at least working again. So there you go. Octember came early. Everything decided to shit the bed at exactly the same time, and it's not even really Octember yet. What's going to happen then? I'm really like fucking scared now. What is going to happen then? Anyway, maybe during the week I'll get the Buick towed in and find out, hopefully, at least good news. You know, my dad said something to me recently, which was, it kind of hit home. And he said, just be happy that the problems you have can be solved with money. And I thought about that. And I said, yep, there are some problems that money can't solve. So we'll leave it at that. I'm trying to keep my spirits up, but it's been tough. I'll hang in there and I'll let you know when anything happens further with this. So thanks for watching. Make sure you click like, make sure you click subscribe, and take care. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.